come see how I took 2 sheets of 12 by 12 pattern paper and some cardstock and turned it into 15 Cards for Cubs. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. It is the Bringing Back Basic Gray collaboration, which means we pull out some of our hoarded basic gray papers and enjoy them and make good use of them and enjoy creating. So this is a very small collaboration that I do with my friend Sarah, who's crafting and relaxing here on YouTube, and Kathy, who's Stampin' Cat over on Instagram. And like I said, each month we play with some basic gray papers. This month I have the Popcorn Poppin' from Life of the Party. And then I have, I don't know what this one is. It's got cars on one side, red circles on the other, but I had to cut the branding strip off at one point. I pulled these out because I'm going to do one last round, or one close to the last round of card making for Cards for Cubs. Since we are getting to the end of the deadline, I'm going to get my cards shipped out at the end of this week. But I wanted to do some more. I knew I had like this card paper, and so I thought I'd pull out any other patterns that I thought might work well, be fun for kids. And then I just found this random scrap that I pulled out. I thought it would go well with the turquoise cars in this collection, or in this particular pattern. So luckily the patterns are double-sided, so I can take advantage of both sides to kind of add some interest to my card. I will find some cardstock to use as well, and we'll see how many cards we can get. We'll figure out a plan and see what we can get out of these 2 sheets. I am going to be using some card sketches today to help me kind of maximize this paper and make some cute cards. And we'll be making multiples of as many of the sketches as I can. So I'll be sure to link the sketches in the description box below for you. And I'll link any products that I can. I do use some punches as well as like my normal basic paper trimmer, things like that. But Basic Gray doesn't make paper anymore. They now make fabric. They made paper in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And one of the reasons a lot of us love Basic Gray is that it had like a special, at the time, it had like the special kind of aged, grunged look that most other paper companies like didn't offer. So it's just kind of, it was like I don't know, it was something different that was, around at the time. So it kind of made Basic Gray stand out a little bit. And just like the wide variety of patterns and themes that they offered were really cool. And the paper was really nice. It was thick. So those were the reasons I loved it. But one of the bad things is it makes Basic Gray kind of hard to match now, like with cardstock and embellishments, because of that, like the special grunge look, I guess. I don't know. That's always just the best way I can think of to describe it, that it had. So this time I didn't really pull in any additional embellishments. I did bring in sentiments that I had created using my silhouette and then just print it out. And if I needed embellishments, like I couldn't find my black Love from Lizzie strips, but I did have some strips that I had created from some scrap vinyl, and so I brought those in. And then for the most part we'll just be using either the cardstock that I've pulled to go with the papers or just the rest of the scraps. And I don't show it, but I do add, I didn't really have many scraps of the pattern paper left. I used pretty much every last bit on the card fronts. So I did have cardstock strip pieces left, and so I ended up using those on the insides of the cards, but I don't think I showed you that. So just wanted to let you know. I am going to go ahead and set you to some music and let you enjoy the process, and I think I'll touch base at one point on when I go into the next set of paper, but enjoy and happy crafting. So as I'm moving into this popcorn paper, I wanted to have, I thought it would be fun to have kind of a themed sentiment to go along with this one. So when I say I use my Silhouette, like my Silhouette, for those of you that don't know, it's like a Cricut. It's just a different company's, electronic die cutting machine that has a software that goes with it. So a lot of times I prefer to design in that Silhouette software just because it's just easier to size, and I've got a little bit more variety of fonts that I've purchased in there, and so I will design it in there, but instead of actually cutting something out, I just send it to my printer, so then it's just like printing from Word or something like that. But on this, like I said, I wanted a theme sentiment, so I just went in and typed in "just popping by to say hi." I thought that was cute and kind of played off the popcorn. And so I just typed that in, found a font that I liked, and then sized it so that it would fit into a 2-inch circle, printed it out, and then you'll see me punch out the 2-inch circles here in a bit when I go to add them to my card. So I just kind of want to let you know, here they are. I just printed a whole sheet and am going to use my 2-inch punch. I think these are EK6S. And I don't show, but I punched the whole sheet out and then add those as my sentiment. I just thought that was cute. I'm always up for a good pun, so thought that was a fun one. And I just wanted to explain that process because I know a lot of people ask, like, what do I mean when I say I use my Silhouette? So sometimes I create a sentiment, like I'll type it in, find a font, format it, and, do all the design myself. Sometimes I will use a file that I have actually purchased, like the Just Be Amazing one that I used at the end of the last round of cards. That was one that was a file that I had purchased, but instead it's usually meant to be cut out either in paper or vinyl, but instead of cutting it out, I just kind of sized it and formatted it so I could print it out as just a normal sentiment. So just wanted to take a few moments to explain all that. And now I'll let you have some music again so you can have some easy listening while you're watching me craft instead of listening to me ramble. here are my 15 cards that I managed to make from those 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, essentially 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. That the car one was kind of split in not a full sheet, but I did have like an extra sheet of a scrap of pattern paper that I brought in to go along with that. So these were fun, and I managed to get more out of it than I thought. I was trying to use these up. Sometimes when I'm working with basic gray, I'm not worried about using up the last bits, but I thought I wanted to try and maximize these cards and get as much as I could out of them for the Cards for Cubs for this year. So I did go ahead and use them all up. So I hope you enjoyed my cards. Also below will be the links to Sarah and Kathy, so you can go check out what basic gray projects they made this month. As always, I thank you so very much for your time, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.